RFC 72. Have to disagree on Coppin. Cassidy, Amanda Cortez, Jeff Degerman, Bayrami, Cherny are all good players. Proper was Clement and his assistant's choice that they demanded basically not Coppins. So is Stuart a bit unfair on Coppin, or does he have a point?
No, I think Stuart was pretty on the money there. I mean, Coppin...
We need to disagree at some point tonight. We have to disagree at some point.
Okay, well, I'll push back slightly then. I think, you can make that argument. He's brought in a younger profile of players, which is probably what we needed today, so we can, obviously sell them on for a bigger fee later on. I think that's the only way Rangers are going to be successful in the transfer window. The other thing I will defend him on a wee bit is it's not like he's the only one where we've signed players and they've just totally flopped. Like, I remember under Gio, wasn't it? We signed Amad Diallo, who's now looking like one of the best wingers in the English league, and he was all right, but it took him a long time to get firing, and he never really lived up to the hype. Really, there's been so many players we've signed where their pedigree is no bad. Even Matondo, he was pretty highly rated at Man City and all that, wasn't he? And what's going on with him? He meant to have a 4-week injury, and we still haven't seen him pretty much all this season. So I really think he's gonna fall on the sword of signing Robin Proper. I've seen one of the commenters there saying, Clement signed him. It was probably both of them do the transfer decisions. But that was one we need to get right. Connor Goldson was love him or hate him, he was a stalwart on that side, and he was very readily available, not injured very often, and he's been such a downgrade, or even on Connor Goldson, who was kind of past it in his last few years. Bayrami, another one, quite good pedigree, and you can kind of see there's talent there. But especially the last wee while, just no seeing anything at all for him, just pretty anonymous. I think you can maybe argue a few of them are all right. Like, Cherny, maybe decent. I don't think he's been too bad. Jeff Day, I think he's been really poor lately, but you can maybe see there's a bit of potential there. But he's clearly not the only one to blame, is he? There's plenty of blame to go around. I wouldn't be scapegoating Coppin for our failures at the minute, but the recruitment's not been good enough. And I think, to be honest, guys, if you're to pin one reason as to why we've been so honking the last few years, it's got to be the recruitment. I mean, we lose so much money on this every year, letting players go out in the free when they had value a few seasons before. I mean, mind that with Morelos, where he got 15 million to go to China, and we turned it down, and then he left on a free.
Was it not Lille or Nice or something wanted to sign him for 15 or 16 million?
Well, that was a bit later on, but in his first season, they got a big offer in for China for him, and we just passed it up, you know what I mean? And it was Ryan Kent as well was like that, wasn't he? So the recruitment has got to improve. I think, to be fair to Coppin, maybe you can give him more time. I don't know. I mean, he's not been here that long. Some of the players, they are young. Maybe they can improve. But based on the first half of the season, you'd say it's been a failure from Niels Coppin, wouldn't you? But once again, it's kind of across the board, isn't it? Manager's not really been good enough. Players are nowhere near the level, and they just don't look up for it. I mean, I thought in that game yesterday, the amount of times they were just passing around the back, dead slow, like that Robin Proper, you always just wanted to pass it back or sideways. And some of the crossing, guys, it was so lazy. I mean, I thought it was bad enough.
Yeah, it's all we continued to try and do, Cal.
Yeah,
was constantly cross the ball into the box.
I want to highlight this here. Ridvan Yilmaz is a player who I actually really had a lot of time for. I thought he was a quality player. He's been really bad this season. And see, when he came on yesterday, oh my gosh, how bad was he, man? He was just hitting all these crosses right into the corner. He was actually getting in good positions, but he was just totally bottling it with the final effort. You know what I mean? So a bit of a rant again. I don't know how to answer it, man, because I don't think there's
it's one. It's a ranty night, mate. It's a ranty night. Don't worry.
It is a ranty.
This was never going to be. This was never going to be the greatest show in the world. I don't think. Let's be honest with ourselves. We don't know what way. I honestly don't know what way you go with it, Stuart. I genuinely don't. I don't know whether to go full doomsday and everything's over and Celtic are going to win everything for the next however many years, or I don't know whether to go down the route of like a wee bit what Callum said. Look, it's football. Football's cyclical. Every dog has its day. Things will change. It will get better. I'm sitting here on the 27th of December, Stuart, not got a clue what the future looks like for Rangers.
Does the board know what the future looks like for Rangers the 27th of December?
Is the board part of the future of Rangers?
Well, that's it. That's the thing. That they're the only people probably that can answer that kind of question. But looking at Andrew's response to my point, he's probably right there saying that it's probably loan players that might come in, a couple of loan players that might come in. But again, we have to see there how long Suter and Balogun is out for. That might force a hand to go and get another couple of centre backs. So yeah, I mean,
and yet, Stuart, we've got a guy in the B team who was signed for AC Milan, who I believe is 19, 20 or something, on a fairly decent wage. And from all the reports that I've heard, he's been a bit of a bomb scare. There's another scouting debacle.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we can go on. For another hour of the signings we've made and who really has been successful. We can look at the youth and ask the questions: why is the youth not coming in? If you go on the bench and give the boys 15 minutes. No, it's all well turning up in match day. Because the whole idea of bringing the youth guys up to the first team to sit on the bench on a Saturday or a Wednesday or a Thursday, whatever day we're playing these days, it's all about learning. So if you're a right back, you'll shadow Tav and just see what he does on a match day. How does he prepare himself, etc., etc. I mean, that's the kind of thing that the youngsters are supposed to mirror image to be successful. So I mean, there's many. Young Fraser is there. I mean, is Rice any better than Barron? I would say yeah, just about. I mean, he's young Barron. He slows for me. He looked good at the beginning, didn't he? When he had that jersey on.
Yeah, but they're two totally different players. But I get what you mean.
No, but I'm just going to talk about Barron, if that's all right.
Yeah, you fine.
Yeah, okay. Because when he first came, he had the jersey on, didn't he? He was flying into tackles. He was like, he was running around. And folk were saying, "Here, we've got a steal here, haven't we?" But now all of a sudden, he just looks like an average Aberdeen player. He slows the game down too much. I don't know if he's feeling the pressure. When Raskin wasn't there yesterday, did he feel as if it was all on his shoulders to try and do the same work that Raskin does? And he's not the same player as Raskin, that's for sure. So I felt for the boy a little bit. But again, it's up to the boys to come up to the mark. You go Sunday against Motherwell. Let's show the manager, whoever the starting 11 is, that you're good enough to play the 2nd of January, and you will not let yourself down or the team down or the 50,000 taking their seats. That's what we're looking for. Even if winning on the 2nd of January has absolutely no bearing on where the league's going, it's taking the monkey off our back. That's what I'm looking for. Get the monkey off our back, stop that guy across that other side of the city with 8 big stupid white teeth, grinning every time you look at him, right? Because he just thinks he's got to turn up. Is it Tuesday, Wednesday? And 3 points is in the bag. No, let's slap him down that we almost done the cup final. Slap him down and get the monkey off our back. Then we can progress from there. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think we can. I really don't think we can.
I thought it'd be at Easter Road if we do that.
See, and I hate Old Firm games, right? I despise them because I'm a pessimistic supporter, right? And people would probably be able to guess that, right? So I hate Old Firms until that we're either winning comfortably and the game's won, or the final whistle goes and it's a draw or a win, right? I hate them. I despise them. Everything about them, right? They just cause me so much pain, and it probably took easily 15 years off my life. Old Firm games, but Callum, I really don't. I don't think it matters in terms of points or in terms of final league positions. Obviously, it matters in terms of having a wee bit of bragging rights, like Stuart says, get the monkey off your back, etc. But in terms of Clement, in terms of the job that he's doing, in terms of how secure his job is, does the 2nd make any real difference to what the board's going to do?
Oh, I think it does make a bit of difference. If we were to beat Celtic in the second, as much as we are miles behind, we all know that, it would give the fans a bit of a lift, wouldn't it? Because, you always love beating Celtic when it happens, and it has been the real monkey on our back for so long. But you're probably right. In the grand scheme of things, I just think now it's too far behind to really even think about title races and all that. In fact, see, be honest, if I was to put a wee silver lining on yesterday, I think the hope is gone now, and the whole fan base knows, right, title 100% done. We don't have to, delude ourselves into thinking maybe we can make a comeback or whatever. Because I've seen a few people saying that after the Dundee United game, and fair play to them. Some supporters are more optimistic than others, but I think now all the Rangers fans know it's done. We're miles behind. Let's focus on the cups in Europe. Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, probably not. But it is a monkey we are going to need to get off our back, regardless of whether it's Clement or another manager that does it. Our record against Brendan Rodgers is seriously embarrassing. I think it's like 1-20 or something like that we've won. It's got to change, isn't it? It's got to change. But yeah, you're probably right. I think it would take so much for Rangers fans to trust Clement again that I just can't see it happening. I think he'd have to probably win at Ibrox, win at Celtic Park, be near perfect and go on a great run in Europe, and probably win the Scottish Cup to even have a chance to turn that around. So yeah, it probably doesn't make too much of a difference, but we absolutely do need to, get at least a big performance and hopefully a big result there, because it's horrible, isn't it? Because Old Firm games, they're always kind of the same, isn't it? They're always up for it. We rarely are. They always get the wee breaks of luck, and we just don't really. And they're always mentally stronger in those games. So important in some sense, yeah. Every Old Firm derby is important. Not particularly optimistic going into it. You never know, though. We might be able to beat them, and that would be a great day. But you're right. We're not going to win this league. No, I really sincerely doubt we're going to win this league, even if we beat them 5-0 in the second.